comments, Dave. Um, where Sean Rouse Sapp asked her a question about the whole her emotions, or has addressed the controversy surrounding the allegations made by several wrestlers of her bullying and using racist language. She said it was a very emotional weekend full of highs and lows. I chose to step away from social media for a bit because of all the things that were going on. With everything that went on over the weekend, not everyone's going to like me. Not everyone is going to agree with what I choose to do in my life. I've made mistakes. I've faced challenges. One thing I will say, though, I've never used a racial slur of any kind in my life. I don't know about that. It's not something that I've done. It's not something that I will do. It's just not true. Some people they look at social media, someone will make an accusation and will say something, then everyone hops onto the bandwagon. We've all got our own stories. There's a side of everyone's life that is public, and there's a side that is private. There's a there is a part for all the world to see and can be judged by anyone that's interested in it. It's very unfortunate that some people resort to saying certain things, but it's just not true, and that's as much I'll say on it. I know who I am. That's the world we live in. I've faced challenges and obstacles that allowed me to become the woman and athlete that I am today. This is just another stone in that step. That weekend I'm going to remember for a while. It's the match that I prepared for physically and mentally for months and months and months. It had been built up for 8 or 9 months, so were already a lot of emotions. The day before it hit me pretty hard. And that's about it. But your thoughts there, Dave, where she pretty much claims that she's never in her whole life, Dave, never said a racial slur, and still is saying that those reports about her are untrue. You have any comments on that, Dave?
Look, we don't know. I mean, we do know, I guess, to an extent, because what people have come out and said, so we do kind of know. But it is hearsay to an extent. Everything is hearsay. Only she knows what she did, and if she's coming out and saying that she didn't do this and she actually did do it, that's really like some bad karma right there, I think. But if she is innocent of these, then it's some bad karma the other way too. If people are just doing this because they didn't like her or don't like and jealousy, if that's the case, then that's petty too. But I kind of believe it that she did say all this and she just doesn't want to admit to it. But that doesn't show a growth in somebody. That shows like a degrowth. I don't know if that's even a word, but a degrowth, because for all you've been so much better as a person the last few years, this kind of puts you back almost in the same spot if you're not going to come out and show maturity and admit something if you did it. Look, if she didn't do it, then fine. I'm sorry for saying that she did. But it seems like to me, from everything you hear from all these other women, that she did do all this and she was really rude and mean to people.
Right. Yeah, it does seem like
that.
Yeah.
That you won't admit to growing up. So you grew up, admit to what you did is wrong. So, okay, I want to apologize to these people. I did do these things.
I honestly feel like she did say it, but she's just going to keep denying. And the way to ever prove that she did is if there's audio, which obviously they don't have. So
well, there is audio, but it might not be her, so still.
Oh, of her saying those racial slurs?
No, of something else.
Well, that's something, but there's not a audio clip of her saying the N-word or saying any kind of racial slur to anyone. So she's going to deny it because there's no proof. It's all hearsay. Nobody knows. And, unless she takes a lie detector test, which I don't think she will. I don't think it'll go that far. Because it's kind of been forgotten. When's the last time we've mentioned Tessa and this whole racial stuff? We haven't. We haven't mentioned it since the day it happened. So
5 seconds ago.
Yeah, well, before tonight's show, we haven't talked about it in probably 2 to 3 weeks since
and
Hard to Kill.
There's going to be a big mixed tag match coming up too, with Tessa Blanchard and Eddie Edwards versus Elgin and Taya, I think, or someone like that. Yeah, that's the match that's coming too.
Okay, well there you go. That's all. You're not going to cover Killer Cross anymore. Just Dave saying he's going to be Finn's enforcer. What do you think they're going to do with him, Tony? He's your guy.
What
It's
else you want to say?
it's tough for me to honestly say what he's going to do. I wanted to be the power couple with Scarlett, but again, they haven't really introduced you to Scarlett either. And I guess they could introduce them together. But Killer Cross and Finn Balor would be a cool idea, but I don't see that happening. I honestly think that Killer Cross will end up being a pretty strong force in NXT. I don't feel like he's going to be thrown away or be a jobber on NXT. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm a little worried too. There's always those factors of what we've seen happen before when they sign free agents. EC3 is obviously not as hot as
That main roster, though.
not as strong as Killer Cross when he first signed with the WWE. But we've seen guys that have signed with the WWE who did great in other companies, just kind of get dwindled away over on WWE. And I'm just hoping that that's not what we see with Killer Cross, which I don't think will happen.
Or why not put him with the Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa, and Killer Cross? There you go. That'd be an interesting combo right there too.
Yeah, or have a feud between the two guys. I would love that as well. Won't work
Yeah,
if you tamper with a lie detector. Yeah, that's very true as well.
Maybe it's not fair of me to say just put him with someone as someone's sidekick. Well, the reason or his bodyguard, because that's what he's done a lot in his career.
Right.
Starting with John Morrison back in Lucha Underground, he was basically their bodyguard. And TNA/Impact Wrestling, he was basically Austin Aries. Him and Moose were Austin Aries' bodyguard. And then he finally broke off from being a bodyguard to being his own man the last year before he started to want out of his contract. So would I like to see him do great stuff in Ring of Honor? NXT, yeah, I would love to see him do great things there. But time will tell.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they actually do with Killer Cross. It's going to be very, very interesting, to say